welcome back to the channel, guys. Today Joe's at Huddersfield Golf Club, where we've come for a ball fitting with Dan, our mid-handicap golfer, who's now off 6.
So are we still using mid?
It could be low. I don't know what you think about that, guys. But we're coming for a working from the green backwards ball fitting to help you try and improve your scores.
Hopefully find one ball and one ball only.
One ball only. Dan's not a one ball man at the minute, are you?
I use whatever I can get my hands on.
You use whatever you get your hands on, but the TITLEIST ball you've actually been using
is the True Feel one.
Is the True Feel, which is probably more there. Would you class it as a budget ball there?
I think it's towards lower end.
It's towards the lower end, but you're a 6 handicapper. So that's quite surprising. Yeah. So let's go and see David and see what ball he should be using.
Yeah, let him work his magic.
So we've got David here, our TITLEIST ball fitting specialist, who's going to be helping Dan today. But just before we get started, you know, I wanted to sort of pick your brains. Is there anything you could say to subscribers about golf balls that might help them choose a golf ball in future?
Yeah, absolutely, Gary. So thanks for having me on. So for everyone listening at home, so golf ball, first and foremost, is the most important piece of equipment that we have in our golf bag, okay? The reason we say that is we're going to use this ball for every single shot, okay? So it's imperative we play the right golf ball from a performance perspective, but then we've got to play that golf ball all the time, okay? So if we're chopping and changing golf ball, in effect, you might as well take a different set of clubs out every time you play, okay? So let's keep it the same. So a golf ball, there's 3 things that we kind of consider from golf ball, from a golf ball perspective. So flight, feel, and spin. A lot of golfers are perhaps put off by playing that higher performing golf ball, such as Pro V1 and Pro V1X. So we actually think that every single golfer can benefit from playing a high performing golf ball.
We were talking about this off camera, because there is a bit of a myth, isn't there, that, you know, the higher performing balls are for the pros, and you know, if you're a mid to handicap golfer, you won't see any benefit from them balls.
Absolutely.
But it's not true, is it?
Not at all. So the reason we say that, Gary, is because actually that sort of higher handicap golfer, is arguably going to miss more greens than perhaps yourself. So that golfer is then playing more chip shots, more pitch shots. They've missed the green. That's where you see the biggest performance benefits in the golf balls.
Green.
Absolutely.
I get that completely, you know, and you know, if you were to hit a ball into a green, you want it to stop on the green, don't you?
You do, and as we spend more money on the golf ball, so we progress from True Feel through to Pro V1 and Pro V1X, the cost goes up. One of the biggest things that changes is actually the outside of the golf ball. So we've got some samples on the table here. It's the cover material on the outside that changes the most, okay? So it gets progressively softer. That generates more friction and therefore more spin. That's the bit that interacts with the grooves. So that golfer needs all the control and help they can get. So don't let handicap deter you from playing a high performing golf ball.
And when we're talking about higher price point golf balls, we're talking about such an insignificant price in comparison to buying a golf club, aren't we?
Absolutely.
You know, you can get like 4 dozen balls for the price of one golf club.
And we argue this is your most important piece of equipment. We use it for every single shot. So this is the most overlooked part of the golfer's bag by far and away. Let's get you playing the right golf ball from a performance perspective and using it all the time. A couple of the myths we look to kind of generally dispel as well, Gary. So club head speed is a big one. Okay, so we hear on our travels all the time that a golfer doesn't swing enough perhaps to play a higher performing golf ball. What we say in response to that is we all swing at a variety of different speeds in a round of golf, and that's based on the 14 different clubs we've got. We swing at different speeds based on different lengths of golf club, okay? Both you and I are going to chip a lot slower than we swing our driver, okay? That golf ball's got to perform in every single facet of the game. So we've got to keep that golf ball the same all the time. Don't let, again, club speed, you know, put you off playing a particular golf ball.
So I think, you know, the moral of the story is that, you know, don't put yourself into a certain category of ball based on handicap.
Absolutely.
You know,
handicap, age, ability as a result of handicap and club head speed are certainly not going to come into golf ball selection for us.
So this is going to be interesting, Dan. It's your time. We're going to find out what's going to be the best golf ball for you. But after this conversation, I'm probably starting to lean towards a more of a premium ball.
Absolutely.
So let's find out.
Okay, so Dan, first question to you. Do you mind me asking what golf ball you play with at the moment?
Yes, I've been using the True Feel now for quite a while. Okay,
perfect. What makes you play that golf ball? Just out of interest?
In all honesty, probably because it's probably the most affordable. Nice soft feel on it.
Yep.
So I just went down that route really.
Okay, absolutely. So that's part of the reason why we have 8 different models. We can accommodate different price points, okay? All of them are fantastic options, okay? So you mentioned about the soft feel there.
Yes.
Okay, that's one of our primary sort of principles when it comes to golf ball fitting, so how it feels. So just answer me this question. Would you think a softer golf ball perhaps gave you more spin?
I would think so, yeah.
Okay, so we hear this a lot. One of the big misconceptions in the sort of in the industry and relating to golf balls. So a softer golf ball doesn't necessarily spin more, okay? So ironically, True Feel is our softest golf ball based on its internal construction. It's actually got one of the firmest covers, okay? So the outside material is firm. That's the part that interacts with the grooves, okay? So as a result, that's our lowest spinning golf ball, okay?
Interesting.
So a question to you off the back of that would be, when you are chipping around the greens, do you feel like you could benefit from a bit more control? How does that golf ball react around the greens?
Yeah, it probably doesn't stop as quick as you'd always like.
Okay.
There'd be quite a bit of roll on it.
Yep. So do you think you'd benefit from a golf ball that gave you a bit more control?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. So we can definitely explore that sort of idea, okay? So a higher performing golf ball such as Pro V1 or Pro V1X, there's different materials on the outside of the golf ball, okay? So we use Surlyn on a True Feel, and we use soft cast urethane on Pro V1 and Pro V1X, okay? And AVX for that matter. So that softer covered golf ball is going to give you that added spin, okay? Talk to me about your trajectory, okay? So when you're hitting shots into a green, how would you categorise the ball flight? Do you think it's low, medium or high?
I'd say probably low to medium, yeah.
Low, okay. And for the benefit of everybody watching, that is exactly what True Feel is designed to do. It's our lowest launching, lowest spinning golf ball, okay? So would it be fair to say then perhaps that when your golf ball lands, okay, and I'm talking with irons, so think about your longest iron as much as your 7-iron and wedges perhaps, does that golf ball tend to roll on a bit?
Yeah, there's definitely a bit of run out, yeah.
Cool. So if we can get that golf ball stopping quicker, inevitably we're going to get you closer to the hole. As the law of averages, we should get you holing more putts and shooting better scores, okay? Like the sound of that?
I do.
Absolutely. Okay, good. Okay, so Dan, I'm going to give you 2 products to go away and test, okay? So 2 different golf balls, okay? First product I'd like you to test, okay, alongside your True Feel, is going to be a Pro V1, okay? So there for you, okay? So the purpose of this education event is to talk you through the different golf balls, but then to give you some samples to go away and test, okay, in the hope that one of them performs better than what you're currently using. And if you see that performance benefit, you've got to then play that golf ball all the time, okay? So Pro V1 relative to True Feel is going to give you a slightly higher ball flight, okay? It spins more, okay, and that's primarily based on that cover material. So test this, okay? The idea is we want to achieve maximum distance, but that golf ball's got to stop at the other end, okay? So if you feel like this golf ball achieves that better than True Feel, fantastic. The second product I want you to try is Pro V1X, okay? So this is going to give you a slightly higher ball flight. So put simply, think of X as extra height and extra spin relative to Pro V1. So if there's still scope to get that golf ball stopping quicker on the greens and Pro V1 isn't quite stopping quick enough, X is going to be the one to try, okay? Assuming that we maintain the distance with the iron play, whichever golf ball stops quicker is going to be the golf ball to persevere with. Obviously ensure that you like the feel. There is a subtle difference. Pro V1X is slightly firmer than Pro V1, which is based on the internal construction of the golf ball. And also around the greens, you're going to see very similar performance because we're only really utilising the cover material on the golf ball. Both have the same cover material. It's the internal construction that's going to really dictate how it feels, okay? So base this decision on feel and the ball flight that you want to see with the irons, okay? Whichever golf ball stops the quickest is going to give you the most control, okay?
Sounds good.
So Dan, we're not going to do an exhausting test here, but we are going to just chip with all the balls to see if you can tell much difference in feel. What's one of the things you took away from that ball fitting?
I think probably just overlooking balls in general. Because you spend hundreds, thousands on equipment, but yet the ball, you just pull whatever out of the bag.
You must have a bag of clubs at $2.5 grand, so you obviously value your golf. You spend a lot of money on golf, but you try and cut costs maybe on the wrong area, the ball, which is the most important part of your equipment, as David was saying. So let's start off with the ball you've been using, which is the True Feel, and just chip that back flag for me. So I think when you do these tests, you know, with different balls side by side, then you can start to feel the difference. And obviously, you know, the chipping probably is one of your weaknesses.
Oh, without a doubt.
And I think that's where a premium ball can actually benefit you more, is closer to the green. And that's what this fitting's been about today, hasn't it? It's working from the green backwards. Because I mean, if I relate to my game, I could hit any ball off tee, Dan, to be quite fair.
Yeah, there's not masses amount of difference, is there?
There's not masses, you know, it could be a maximum of sort of 10 yards, but if it were around the green, if someone said I want to have a chipping contest, I wouldn't be going in my bag for a top flight.
No, of course.
You know, you're going to pick out a soft ball, aren't you? Soft covered ball. Now that definitely sounded different.
Yeah, I mean, that straight away that sounds and feels better.
What about when it reacts? Did it stop a bit better or not?
It stopped better, didn't it? I don't know if you could pick that up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is the X then?
Yeah.
Which, did he say will fly a little bit higher?
Yep.
So that as well, because you said your ball flight's quite low,
Yeah.
that bit higher flight will make it stop even better.
Of course.
So it's going to be landing from a higher descent and softer.
Bit duff, eh?
Oof, we've got a hole there that...
Is that not what we were going for?
Unfortunately, that was going in that, weren't it?
Yeah.
Let's watch how that rolls. So honest answer, after testing them balls, did you notice any difference between Pro V1 and Pro V1X around the green?
Probably not between those two models, no. Felt same, sounded same, and they looked to stop pretty much same.
Did you notice any difference between the Pro V1 and the Pro V1X and the True Feel?
Yeah, the True Feel feels really dead, no sound to it. Dead off face, and it doesn't seem to have stopping power at other two.
It looked to me as though it rolled out more.
Yeah, without a doubt.
So I think where that leaves us then, you know, we've found out that the premium ball's better around the green, and it's going to come down to which ball flight you prefer the most.
Yeah.
So that's where now, you know, if you've been to one of these sort of ball fitting days where it works from green backwards, you're going to take the ball out onto the course and you're going to hit both balls suggested and see which one you like the ball flight more, whether it's going to be Pro V1X, which will be a bit higher launching, or the Pro V1, which is more mid launching. So that's our next step. But we're not going to keep you guys around for that. But that's where we are. So what would you say about the ball moving forward?
I think I'm going to go with what he suggested. Pro V1X probably.
Pro V1X. We're going to obviously we'll do a bit more testing, but we think that could be the ball based on, you know, the characteristics of your game. But would you be happy to spend £45 a dozen?
I think you have to, because when you look at what we spend on clubs, other equipment, then why are you scrimping on ball? Save a few quid. It's not worth it.
I completely agree. You know, obviously I know I'm a lower handicap golf, but you're off 6 now. And as we've said earlier in the video, I think off the tee, there's not much more room for improvement for you. You're hitting it brilliant off the tee, you hit your irons quite well, but I always feel when I've played with you that you leave a few shots out round the green.
Yeah, it's always been a weakness of mine. So.
And certainly when we played the other day at Chesterfield, there were a few balls you hit into greens, they didn't hold the greens quite so well. And I think that's where the premium ball is really going to help. So I hope you've enjoyed that video. That's been a Titleist working from the green backwards ball fitting, which hopefully is going to help Dan's game and hopefully help yours. We'll see you in a few days' time, guys. Bye.